to come here. People were going to start dying here. And it's happening now. Maybe not at alarming rates, but I think one beheading associated to Islam on American soil is a bit alarming, wouldn't you say? Now, are we stretching things here? I don't think so. Look at his Facebook page. He's got pictures of people being beheaded on his Facebook page. How come Facebook didn't take that down? Why was that allowed to remain on Facebook? But yet mention anything about Christianity or anything about, being a conservative, and right away they're up your ass looking to wipe your picture off of Facebook. Well, you know what? Maybe we should drop Facebook altogether. Maybe that's what we should do, because their political correctness is bullshit. Maybe if they have taken that down, maybe he would have gotten, well, I doubt if they could have gotten to this guy, but maybe it would have helped. You don't know, and we'll never know, because they didn't do it. But I'll tell you something else, and this is from personal knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Way back when I was back in New York, the family had there was a big party for my nephew's daughter. It was her first birthday. And my brother-in-law had cooked a pig and bought a pig and cut it up. And, he roasted the whole thing, in the pit, over the pit, roasted it, and my other nephew decided he was going to take pictures of it as we were cutting it up and, serving it out. He put it on Facebook just to show what was going on at the party. Do you know that they contacted him about putting that pig being cut up on Facebook? They contacted him and told him to take it down. But this guy, because what? He's Islamic, because he's I don't get it. What's the problem here? You're going to compare the beheading of a person to the cutting up of a feast pig? Are you kidding me? This is the first beheading under radical Islam on United States soil. And it's not going to stop if they continue to get away with it. And this government is allowing them to get away with it. It must stop, ladies and gentlemen. You are the only ones that can do it. Call your congressmen, call your senators, and you tell them this must end today. Call it what it is. Radical Islam terrorism. That's what it is. It's got nothing to do with the innocent millions of Muslims who practice their religion and go on with their lives without bothering anybody. Those aren't the people we're talking about. We're talking about the radicalization of Americans. We're talking about the radicalization of English people all over the world. Thousands of people drawn into this bloody, horrific, demonic plague. That's the only words I can think of to describe this group of cowards. But no, this government, what do they want to do? They want to push it to the back burner. They don't want to mention Islam. No, don't mention Islam. You can't no, it's politically incorrect. Don't do that. Well, you're going to hurt other people. Well, bullshit. Call a spade a spade. He was a radical Islamic terrorist. That's what he was. Because he was heard yelling Islamic words while he stabbed this woman and the other woman and cut off the first woman's head. That's what he did, ladies and gentlemen. He cut her head off after he stabbed her to death. What is that to you? And if we don't wake up and we don't pressure this government into doing the right thing here, instead of doing the politically correct thing, more people are going to die. I said this 3 weeks ago, and it's happening. It's not an epidemic yet, but it can shortly become one. It's amazing to me. Simply amazing. You need to contact your Your elected representatives, ladies and gentlemen, and come this November 4th, you need to get out there and vote. You need to get out there and vote and get these people that are in there now out. Even if it means electing Republicans at this point. Give us some time. That's what we need. Time to adjust to how we're going to wipe out Washington and everybody there and put new people there. People that are not going to bend to the will of a party or bend to the will of an ideology. We need new, fresh people. We need people in there that we're not going to put on pedestals, or people who are not going to think that they're elitists, and think they're above everybody else when they work for us. That's what you got to keep in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. They work for us. We do not bow to them. We do not bow to them. If anything, if anybody's going to do the bowing, it's going to be them. And that's what we need to make them understand. And if it means putting the Senate in the hands of the Republicans for now, then that's what we must do. Not because that's what I want, but that's what must be done. That's the only course we have right now. Otherwise, it's another 4 years or 6 years of a Senate and a House of Representatives that can't get anything done simply because of ideology. What they are doing doesn't work. It hasn't worked. Look what's going on now, because they choose to push it under the rug and pull the political correctness rug right over the dirt they just swept underneath it. It's got to stop. Now, I want to spend a moment on gun control. Just a minute, because the statistics are alarming. In most places where you see these big attacks and people die, a lot of people, that's because the area that these things happen in are gun controlled. It's a no-gun zone. But that no-gun zone only applies to regular people, people who have morals and people who don't look to kill or maim other people. Because the only ones that bring guns into a no-gun area are the friggin' people who kill other people. But in this case, what's his name? I got to find his name because I want to get it right, and I want to give this man kudos for what he did. His name was Vaughn. His last name is Vaughn. I'll get his first name in a minute. But his last name was Vaughn. He was the CFO of this food processing plant. And he was a reserve, Mark Vaughn is his name. And he was a reserve county deputy who had, when he saw what was happening, didn't have enough time to save the first woman. But the first thing that he thought to do was to go get his vest, get his shotgun or his rifle, and take this son of a bitch out. And he did. But you know what? You know what the biggest thing that he did and the smartest thing that he did was? He didn't kill him. And I know you think that's crazy that I just said that. But think of this now. Now, we can put this son of a bitch on trial now. Let him pay for what he did and make him an example of what we're going to do to more people who decide that in the name of Islam, they're going to start beheading Americans on American soil. Make an example of this son of a bitch, this coward. And if you notice, it's only women. And that's why I call them cowards. Because the cop that arrested him was a woman, he hit her. The first person he decided to attack was a woman. The second person he decided to attack was a woman. Women. Cowards. And you know what? I feel bad for his family. His mother may be right that he was a sweet kid growing up. And maybe he was a Christian or loved Christ at one point. But his mind was turning and it got twisted by the ideology of this rabid group, ISIS, and what they stand for. This isn't Islam. This isn't what the Muslim religion is all about. This has nothing to do with the Muslim religion, other than the fact they say it is. And they're interpreting their Quran the way they choose to interpret it, because that's the way they want it to be. Well, you know what? There's another thing involved here, ladies and gentlemen. This disgust across this country about not putting troops where troops need to be has got to stop as well. We may not like it. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. But when it must be done, it must be done. And this is more proof than anybody else needs. It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. And if we don't stop it over there, it's coming here. It's already landed. It's here. You need to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. You need to start talking to your family and friends about this in a calm manner, but you need to talk about it. This is not something that can be swept under the rug by the local media or the national media or even the administration, because it's happening. It's really happening. And this isn't just some random act, oh, well, he decided to cut this woman's head off after he killed her. No, he incorporated Islam into this murder. That makes him a terrorist. That's what they do. This is what they planned when they put these thoughts in their heads. This man would not have stopped had this Mark Vaughn not been there to shoot him and stop him. He would have beheaded that second woman and continued until somebody did kill him. Make no mistake about that. The only reason this animal was stopped, this rabid beast, is because somebody had the wherewithal to shoot him and not even kill him. Thank God he didn't kill him. But now it's time to make Alton Nolan a poster boy for dead. But a drawn-out death. A death of 1,000 cuts, if you will. That's what we need to show. Radical Islam. That's what we need to show them. And I find it funny that it's always women. It just amazes me. In fact, there was another, just before this, I think a couple of weeks before this, there was another man in another place who threatened a woman because she had a symbol. I think it was a Jewish symbol she was wearing. He asked her if she was Jewish. She said, "No, I'm not. I'm just wearing the necklace." He says, "Well, I am a representative of ISIS, and we behead Christians, Jews, and all non-believers." He threatened this woman. She thought he was kidding, but he wasn't. And he said it again until she finally thought about it afterwards and reported him. Now, after they arrested this moron, or after he got shot, now they decided to go back and look at this guy again. They arrested him for just saying he was associated with ISIS. But this guy who beheads somebody and stabs another woman practically to death is workplace violence. But if you notice, they're all women that these men are attacking. So at this point in time. So I like to go back to something that the federal government likes to do and local government likes to do and the left likes to do when they say, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern of behavior here. We see a pattern here. Yeah, well, I see a pattern too. And political correctness is not a part of it. We must eradicate political correctness in this country or more people are going to die. Because here's the reason why. Because when you use political correctness to cover up something, you're not telling the people the truth. And when you don't tell the people the truth, they don't get the information they need to make the choices they need to make. And decisions they need to make to keep their families safe, to keep the public safe, to keep this nation safe.